Alrighty, continuing on with the PreCalc 12.2 worksheet. We left off just starting 21, so let's restart. First of all, I did notice an error. This should be a +1. So that will make a difference here. So with this first one here, with number 21, we want to deal with the denominator. We want to rationalize that. And so I'm going to multiply by the square root of x plus 1 and the square root of x plus 1, top and bottom respectively here. So that means I have the limit as x approaches +1. And in the top I can FOIL that. I got the difference of squares here. And now I got this root x plus 1 thrown in there too. Now on the bottom, when I FOIL this out, I get x minus 1, middle terms drop off, and now that means I have this thing going on. So now I have the limit as x approaches 1, 1 in the denominator, so I don't have to list it. So I have x plus 1 and the square root of x followed by integer 1. So now I'm ready to just plug in using our special limits there. So again, I'm going to get x plus 1 times the square root, 1 plus 1, excuse me, and the square root of 1 plus 1. And so that actually just gives me 2 here. Square root of 1 is 1, 2. So I get 4 here. Now when we graph this, I have already plugged it in my calculator. So when I graph this, I'm going to whip up a little screen here. So here are my axes. And then my graph looks kind of like a line for some reason. So it kind of looks like this. So at 1, it does exist. Okay, so it does seem to confirm our result. Alrighty, let's take a look at the next one here. And for number 23, let's do some factoring here. I'm going to stretch it out this way. If I plug in a -1 in here right away, I'm going to get -1 plus 1 in the denominator. That's going to cause a 0. Don't want that. And so on the top, I'm going to get x minus 2, x plus 1. In the bottom, I can factor an x out, and I get x squared minus 1. And then that's going to give me x plus 1, x minus 1. So now, like before, we can do that. And so now I can start plugging in. And I'm going to get these -1 values. So in the top, I'm going to get -1 minus 2. Okay. In the bottom, I'm going to get -1 times -1 minus 1, which is -2. So I'm going to get -3 over +2, final answer. And when I graph this, just give me a second here. And again, you could use Desmos for this. We're going to take a look here. And again, just make the graph consistent looking here. We're looking here at -1, so here are my axes. And again, looking around, -1 is really all we're interested in, is we got this thing going on. And it looks like at -1, we are in the ballpark of that value here. So when we confirm our result graphically, we're in pretty good shape. Okay, last couple here deal with absolute value. And what we have to check is we have to check on each side of the value. So we got to do a right hand, left hand here for number 27. So let me switch to blue pen. Okay, so what I need to do is check a couple of things here. I've got to find the limit as x approaches -4 from the left of the negative version of x plus 4. And then I need to check the right-hand side. So that's be -4 from the plus of 4 point, or a positive x plus 4. So when I evaluate this, I get -4 into here, so I get 0. When I plug in the -4 into here, I get 0. And since these are equal, then we can say the limit overall equals 0. So since they both equal, then we get that. Alrighty. So now let's take a look at this next one here. Let me kind of put a bar here. So kind of the same thing here. We're going to go the limit as x approaches 2, because if I plug 2 in here, I got a problem. But I'm going to come from the left. And so that's going to be negative. Okay. So that's going to be these cancel, and so I get -1. Now if I do this the other way, I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to approach 2 from the right. So that's going to give me that's going to give me positive x minus 2 over x minus 2. And these cancel, but that leaves me a positive 1. So these are not equal. So this limit does not exist because these values are not equal. Alrighty. Well, that was a long solution set, but I hope it helped you clarify some things here.